Coming of Age is coming up next. I'm your host, Emily Echeverria. First up today, we're discussing behavioral services at Baptist Healthcare for those with dementia. Next, we'll be addressing the need for more registered organ donors and what it means to be a donor. Lastly, we'll be learning about Canine Companions, an organization that trains and provides service dogs to individuals with disabilities, and meet a special ambassador for the organization. Stay with us. Coming of Age starts right now. As we age, staying active in life and involved in the community can become a challenge. But with Council on Aging of West Florida's wide range of home-based services, you remain healthy, independent, and engaged. From Meals on Wheels and respite care to senior dining sites and the retreat, you'll find the support and connection that you need to age well. Aging looks different for everyone, and we're here to help you meet your needs and thrive while maintaining what makes you, you. We've been in the community since 1972, advocating for elders and supporting those who care for our parents and grandparents. Now, join us as we discuss the age-related issues that matter to you. More than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's disease, and by 2050, this number is projected to rise to nearly 13 million. 1 in 3 seniors dies with Alzheimer's or other dementia, and it kills more than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. In 2023, Alzheimer's and other dementias are estimated to have cost the nation $345 billion. However, support and resources in our area continue to expand. Here to talk to us today about this important topic is Eric Rutledge, the administrator of Baptist Healthcare's Behavioral Services. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, what's new at Baptist related to Alzheimer's disease and other dementias?
So at Baptist, most everyone knows we built a new campus on Brent Lane, and part of that is our new behavioral health unit that's there on that campus, a separate complex across the parking lot. In that, we decided to add a specialized unit for dementia patients who are experiencing mobility issues, memory issues, and it's not just that physical environment, but a group of specialized training there at the hospital. So we've decided to add that service. We already provided that care, but we built that specialized area that's uniquely equipped to provide a different type of specialized care.
Right. And why is this important to Baptist and the community?
So it's increasing in occurrence, especially in our community. Here in Florida, we have a larger retirement population, and it is impactful. It's not just the person who is diagnosed with the disease, it's also the family, the caregivers, their friends, their loved ones. And we've seen that increasing need and request for support. So we know that it's something that we need to address system-wide and provide those services beyond just our walls. So.
Absolutely. What experience do you have in caring for this population?
So I have both professional and personal experience. I began working with the Alzheimer's Association as part of my career path when I was in Louisiana. And it was kind of at that point that I had an aha moment that it was my maternal great-grandmother had dementia before she passed away. And it was just not something that was discussed or diagnosed much at that time. So it kind of created a passion in me, and I continued to work with that organization and other organizations in that area, which was beneficial because later my paternal grandfather was diagnosed before he passed away, and now my paternal grandmother and one of my paternal aunts both have diagnosis of dementia and eventually Alzheimer's that will, end their lives at this point in time. So I deal with that. I have a passion for it. When I moved here, I brought that passion with me, and it just is something that I feel strongly about and advocate for.
Absolutely. There's so many people. I myself had a grandmother with Alzheimer's, and it seems every room we go into, there are people there that are caregiving now or have been touched in some life by someone who has dementia or cognitive decline. So tell me, what is Baptist doing differently related to caring for individuals with Alzheimer's disease or other dementias?
Well, again, we mentioned the facility, and while we're so proud to have that, that's not the only thing that we're doing. We've begun developing different education programs, dementia-capable care and training that we have implemented with our behavioral health staff, but also made available to staff all across Baptist Health System, because it's not just that interaction in behavioral health we're worried about. It's in dealing with the special needs of that patient population and those caregivers throughout our organization. So if you come into a Baptist clinic, we're going to have some staff there that's trained on this. Also, we recognize the impact to the community and the need for information. When we first started dealing with it personally, and I was dealing with my family, I realized professionally I was not equipped. And then in dealing with my family, who are the primary caregivers for my grandmother and now my aunt who has it, they didn't know where to begin. So as part of that, Baptist has begun developing some community outreach for this. The dementia-capable training, we will begin offering that training to other caregivers, family members, and general public over the summer. And then we have in June 3 events, Alzheimer's and Dementia 101. That information is available at eBaptist Healthcare /events. I don't remember the exact dates. I know the 20th and the 28th. But just resources there, resources on the website, and then continuing to work with groups such as the Alzheimer's Association and help raise funds and awareness for different services within the community, support groups, research, support other entities such as Anchor Clinic, who's performing some trials on new medications, things like that, that we try to support not just with the services inside Baptist, but all throughout the community.
Mm-hmm. It's so wonderful that we have so many resources that can connect, and so many people call us at Council on Aging asking, what's the first thing I do? I've started to notice cognitive decline in a loved one, or I'm caregiving for someone who has been diagnosed, and they want to know what's that first step. So what do you think it's important for the community to know?
That there is hope and support within our community. I don't want it to seem horrible because it is a difficult disease to deal with, from the people, the actual patient who's diagnosed with it, the caregivers, but there is hope and there is support available. Again, support groups, they're not just for the patients who have it, it's for the families and the caregivers. It's unique situations. There are tricks to what to do and how to engage, and we discuss that when we get together with the Alzheimer's Association on a regular basis, things that people just don't understand, little things about how to manage sundowning behaviors and things like that. There are little tricks and there's support out there in our community for you as a patient with or a caregiver or family member of someone that has it.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for sharing this information with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up, we're dissecting the myths and facts around organ donation. Stay with us.
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
Animal Allies is looking for volunteers, and there are many ways that you can help. From taking care of cats to using your computer and social media skills, any and all assistance is greatly appreciated. We have morning and afternoon shifts every day or help at adoption events. You can even foster a kitty at home. And it counts towards community service hours for bright futures. Find Animal Allies Florida on Facebook and Instagram, or go to aaflorida.org/volunteer.
When cancer tries to take you away from the things that matter most, Baptist Cancer Institute offers caring physicians and the most innovative treatment options. With convenient locations and a wide array of support programs and services, we're here to help you during the most difficult of times. As a member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network, we're bringing even more innovative cancer care to our community right here at home. When you need cancer care, we'll be there.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
April is National Donate Life Month with the goal of encouraging Americans to register as organ, eye, and tissue donors and to celebrate those that have saved lives through the gift of donation. In the United States, there are more than 100,000 people awaiting organ transplants, and more than 5,000 of those are listed at transplant centers in Florida. LifeQuest Organ Recovery Services is working to raise awareness about the great need and also the processes surrounding organ donation. We've got Public Education Coordinator Tammy Ward here to tell us more. Thank you for being here.
Sure. Thank you for asking me.
So first of all, tell us about LifeQuest and your role there.
Sure. LifeQuest is an organ recovery services organization. We are known as an organ procurement organization, and I like to say OPO for short. But we handle the entire organ donation process. So we work with the area hospitals. By the way, we go from Pensacola to Jacksonville and all the way down to Ocala. And we work with the area hospitals establishing a process by which when they have a patient that possibly could be an organ donor, they contact us. And we also work with all the donor families. We speak to the families about donation if they're in the hospital at that particular time. We also work in the public. That's what I do. I go and give presentations. It's an informational presentation. It's basically to let people understand what organ donation is and the whole entire process. Lots of times people think that they know, but then when I give the presentation, you can see their eyes go, oh, didn't know that. Oh, didn't know that. And so, you know, we handle the entire recovery process. So when we have a donor, all the way to the transplant team coming and recovering the organs and taking them back.
So how important is it if someone who decides to join the donor registry that they share this with their family?
It's very important, especially if that person is not yet 18. So when someone goes to get their license for the first time, they will be asked if they want to be an organ donor. And if they say yes and they're 17 and under, they have to tell their parents or their guardians, because if they don't, and they don't know what their family doesn't know what their wishes are, if something were to happen to them, the family can actually say no because they're not of age. If they're 18 or over, a Florida mandate says that it's a binding contract, but you still want to tell your family because they've just been told the most devastating news that they're not going to see and talk to you again. Please don't let that be also the first time that they hear that you're an organ donor.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the biggest misconceptions that people have about organ donation?
One of them is that if they know I'm an organ donor, they won't try to save my life. Medical personnel, first of all, have taken an oath that they will do everything possible to save your life. And it's one of those things where the myths kind of go from generation to generation, which is another reason why our presentations are so important. Another misconception is that I'm too old, which is a great thing to be here for Council on Aging. We've actually had a 95-year-old that was able to donate his kidney to a liver to a person in her 60s. The interesting thing about him was that he didn't join the registry until he was 90. His son passed away, and that's when he found out his son was an organ donor, and he was so moved by what his son was willing to do. He joined the registry at 90, and then when he passed it at 95, he was able to donate.
Wow, that's an incredible story.
Yes, it is.
So tell us about the need for organ donors. Why is it so important that people get registered?
It's very important because, as you mentioned at the beginning of the segment, there are over 100,000 people, or more than 100,000 people that are currently waiting for an organ, and more than 5,000 right here in the state of Florida. 84% of those people are actually waiting for kidneys.
Wow.
And so they could wait 3 to 5 years. And in the meantime, they're going to dialysis 2 and 3 times a week. They're having to stay on those machines several hours during the day. And they're basically waiting for someone to pass away. But because of that, you know, we're hearing more and more about living donors, which we actually don't handle. But the need is such that we just want to spread the word. And, you know, we're hoping that they make a positive decision, but the most important thing is that they're informed, that they're educated on what organ donation really is.
Absolutely. So how does one become a donor or check to make sure that they're on the registry?
Well, if they went and got their driver's license a very long time ago, they can look at their license to see if they have a little heart or a donor on that. Actually now, because of that situation where the people don't think that somebody's going to try to save their life, the tax collector's office, when they're asked if they want to be an organ donor, they can either ask, or the person can ask for it not to be on their driver's license, but they can still register. Another way is to go on donatelifeflorida.org and register that way. And if you have an iPhone, you actually have a heart app that you can go on there, and you can actually register that way.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Is there anything else you'd like to share about LifeQuest or organ donation?
I wanted to tell, I like to do a little bit of statistics, even though I'm not a math person. In December of this past year, 2023, we had over 23 million people that were residents of the state of Florida, and just shy of 11,300,000 were registered. So just about half. So if we can get more people to join the registry, what a lot of people don't understand is, to be an organ donor, you actually have to be pronounced deceased on a ventilator. And that is not as often as people might think. And so you could possibly be a tissue or eye donor, but you can't be an organ donor unless you're on a ventilator, because the oxygenated blood circulating through the body is what keeps the organs alive. And as soon as that stops, the organs start to die, and you can't restart that.
Gotcha. Interesting. Well, thank you for sharing this with us today.
You're very welcome.
Stay tuned. We've got a dog in the studio from Canine Companions up next.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Canine Companions is a nonprofit organization that enhances the lives of people with disabilities by providing highly trained service dogs free of charge. Since being founded in 1975, they have placed more than 7,700 service dogs, placing between 325 and 375 dogs each year on average. Before the puppies can enter their professional training, they are with volunteers who take them to puppy classes to teach them basic obedience and manners, and we've got a trainee here today along with volunteer puppy raiser Catherine Daniel to tell us more. So first of all, welcome. Thank you for bringing Bubba here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Well, tell us first, what is Canine Companions and what is the mission of the organization?
Canine Companions is the oldest, largest service dog provider in the world. We go back to 1975. Charles Schultz gave us the seed money to start our first campus. We have 6 campuses around the country, and all of our dogs are free. That's what we always want to let people know. Our dogs don't cost a thing. You do have to apply for them, and there's an extensive interview process, and a lot of times it's a 1 to 2 year wait, but we do cover 67 disabilities, people in wheelchairs, children with autism, veterans is a big part of our segment that we serve, and also facility dogs and hearing dogs. So it's a wide range. So we're looking for puppy raisers, but we also want folks to know they can go and get a expertly trained service dog for free. He's still in training, no expert here. Oh my gosh.
What has the experience been like being a volunteer for you? And give us a little introduction of Bubba. Tell us a bit about him as well.
This is Bubba, and he is named for Bubba Watson, our local golfing champ. And he is a social media influencer with the Blue Wahoo. So he goes to the games, he's in the team picture, he's on their social media, and they've been very generous to do that. He's the second dog we've had with them. And it spreads our mission to a whole new audience, the sports fans. And we have gotten so much feedback, people applying to be puppy raisers, people volunteering to help us pet sit, and also people who need dogs. So he's with the Wahoos. He turns into professional training in August in Orlando at our campus.
So they move on to the professional training after this stage. What happens if a dog doesn't make it past this strength? Not saying anything about Bubba here or his behavior. They're all very good boys and girls, I'm sure. But what if a dog doesn't make it past that? And do you have any experience with this?
Oh yes, we have raised one dog with Channel 3 that flew through. His temperament was perfect for this work. We raised a second dog. Only half of our dogs make it. So the standards at Canine Companions is so high that our second dog became a change of career because they would not let him do his nails.
Oh.
So it's that stringent because we want a dog that is so solid for their person. And so he'll go to Orlando for 6 to 9 months of professional training, and then he will be placed with his forever person.
And what is the experience of making sure he will pass all those tests, making sure they'll walk on different, textured grounds and all that kind of thing? What is his kind of day-to-day training like?
Our job as puppy raisers is to teach him 30 cues and then also socialize them, take them out in public, expose them to everything you can think of. Elevators, blow up things at Christmas, every kind of sound, garbage trucks, bicycles, skateboards, and also house manners, which we're working on with this one. He's soliciting right now, which is not good. He's asking you for attention, and that is not, we're working on that. So, I always remind people these dogs are not robots, they're still dogs. And he needs his afternoon nap, I think. But what it really comes down to is the temperament of the dog. Watson told the trainers over and over he did not want to be a service dog. And now he's the ball dog for the Wahoos on Tuesday nights. So he takes the balls out in his little vest, and he's still part of the team, and he's still working, but just not how we had hoped he would. Oh, he's doing an under for you. Look at that.
So what type of people end up getting the dogs? What type of person would a dog like Bubba be serving, assuming he made it through all the training?
Well, he could wind up with a child with autism. He could become a facility dog. We have several of those working here in our community from Canine Companions. He could also maybe be a hearing dog to help somebody. Okay, I've got to correct him. Sit, Bubba. Thank you. And he knows all of his commands. His temperament is perfect in public. We're working on his focus and holding his commands right now. So this is good, you know. He's used to being at a TV station and not being on air so much, so he just thinks it's free for all. We're gonna work on that, Emily.
Well, it is a free-for-all here on my show, Bubba. Do whatever you want. How does one become eligible or apply, go through that process to get a canine companion?
We have a comprehensive website, canine.org, and it has all the frequently asked questions. Sit down. And now he's supposed to stay in his command. This is an implied stay, so that is something we're working on. Stay, please. And we have a really good website, a great application process, and I really encourage people to check it out, canine.org. It's Canine Companions.
So are you still looking for more volunteers in this area? Can people apply to be part of that program as well?
Yes, on the website there's a place to learn about how to be a puppy raiser, and we've actually gotten several puppy raisers just from having our influencer puppies out in the community. The Ice Flyers have Buchella, and he's with our same group, and so it's really wonderful how Pensacola has embraced this mission and become a huge part of it.
I just realized I've seen Buchella at a game recently. They put him on the big cam a lot, and it's very heartwarming. We love to see it.
He's amazing. He's doing really well.
Oh, I love that. Is there anything else you want to share about Canine Companions or your role as a volunteer?
Well, we definitely could use more puppy raisers. After COVID, a lot of folks were not able to continue being a volunteer puppy raiser, and we would love to have more. We have a very active chapter and community of puppy raisers, and we have a lot of fun.
Well, we have had so much fun having you and Bubba on the show. Thanks for really bringing that charisma to us. And
he is a little charming.
Absolutely. And thank you so much again.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Until next time, enjoy life. You've earned it.